Ta-da!
Here we are.
Ooh, and our mics are working. Awesome.
Boom! Working. AirPods check. Mic check. I think we're ready
Camera
to go.
check.
Camera check.
Everything's
important.
good. Everything's pretty darn good.
Yes. Welcome to another edition of Get Found.
And be seen.
Nice pause there.
Had to think about it.
Oh, no, I hear you. Had to just think about that. It's great to be together. It's great to, hey, what's up, community? It's great to have you here. And we are excited to join you today. And today, Monty, I love this topic that you picked.
Well, I think you had just much to do with the picking of it, but thank you very much.
Good point. Actually, that's true. But this is great. The different types of video structures.
Video
That's
structures.
important. Video structures.
Because when you say the word video, I mean, it brings up images, but for some people, it brings up a different image than other people.
Right.
Yeah,
that's true.
Say video, and I think MTV.
Right. You say video. Sometimes in my mind, I'm thinking late at night infomercial on TV.
Oh.
I
was thinking VHS.
Ooh, nice. DVD.
Yeah.
We're fast forwarding a little bit though, right?
Well, but that's funny. You say video, and what's coming to our mind is the medium that they're on.
Right. Yeah.
But not actually the video itself.
Good point. Didn't think about that.
No, because we're thinking like, oh, what kind of structure? Well, there's VHS and there's DVD and there. Oh, no. Now we have shorts and reels and all those types of things. Those are types of videos.
Right. Right. And the ones we thought of, there's more. I'm pretty sure there's more, much more.
Oh, there's a lot of different types.
You know what I thought of too? I thought about GIFs. Technically,
a GIF is a type of a video. Absolutely. Because, I mean, if you want to go down to the very baseline of video is just moving images, recorded moving images.
Right. That's right. That's true.
Yeah, GIF, huh? Because some GIFs are super short, but some are a little bit longer.
Right. But even the ones that are short, though, it's movement.
Oh, right. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I guess they're like a silent. Because oftentimes videos are associated with sound, audio, voices.
Right.
But not always. There's plenty of videos that don't have any sound in them. That's what the subtitles are for now.
Right.
In fact, that's a tactic. That is a structure right there. People intentionally make YouTube videos or Facebook videos. They probably make them for other ones too, but specifically what I'm talking about is on Facebook, there are people who are scrolling and they don't play the sound because they are somewhere where it's not appropriate to play the sound.
Right.
So they're not going to watch a video, but they may watch it if it has subtitles. Which is kind of why these platforms are automatically putting subtitles on. So then you end up having like 2 sets of subtitles, and it's a little annoying.
Right. The return of the silent film. Some could say.
Yeah. Yeah. In a way that has come back around. And because when you know that you don't have any speaking or any sound, you have to do things a little differently if you want to get your point across.
Right. Which I love talking about that. As a camera confidence coach, I love talking about that. That's going to be one of the biggest things, Monty, that I will focus on this year. We'll get into that at some point. But you do have to focus on different things without the sound. Yeah.
Yep.
Which is a lost art. And I'll leave it at that. So Monty, this first, I love the first one. Shorts. my favorite to talk about that, shorts.
Yeah, that's the hot thing. That's what's being pushed out there right now, being promoted. All the platforms are saying, "Hey, this is the cool thing." And of course, they got different platforms have to have their own name for stuff, but
Right.
short or reels or I don't know what else may be out there, but
Yeah, TikToks. Yeah, YouTube shorts like you mentioned. Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Well, they got to call it, since it's different platforms, legally they got to call it something different, right?
right,
Even though they're
right.
competing,
Well, it's because of branding. The first
right?
the first I don't know who came out first. I mean, I kind of think it would be shorts, but I don't know for sure. But whoever
Hmm.
came out with it first, they're like, "Hey, we're going to call it this, and this is our." It's not just a short video; it's YouTube Shorts.
Right.
So that's why they couldn't. They're like, "Well, we can't have Facebook Shorts, darn it!"
Right.
So they had to come up with something different.
Oh, from what I can recall, I think they were like Vine videos. Vine. I think that was the term.
Vine,
Remember
huh?
that?
I don't. That was
Oh,
before I got involved in this online video stuffs.
sheesh, that must have been like, I don't have the accurate date, but it was probably definitely before 2019, 18, 17, 16. I gave different dates, but yeah, Vines. Wow, you just took me back, dude.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, there's that trend type stuff.
right, and it was a trend, and then it didn't really do well. But different people like Gary Vee thought it was going to be the next best thing, and look what happened. It transferred into what's going on now with the shorts.
Well,
Wow.
that's the way things go. Back in the day,
Hmm.
there was Dick Tracy, and he had his watch and his phone on his watch. You know, and now we've turned out it's like we don't have a phone on our watch; we have a watch on our phone.
Right, watching that phone, but also to
Yeah.
some
Now,
extent
now
it
they're
came back.
they're starting to get around because the technology is going to allow it.
Right,
But it's just interesting though that some people thought, hey, this is the way things are going to go because this is a great idea, and then because of logistics and physics and other things
mm-hmm,
and marketing, sometimes it's marketing. There
right,
are plenty of things out there that have become big merely because of marketing,
right,
or some things that would have become big if they'd had good marketing.
right. Yeah, because a lot of things are timing too. It's timing. Times people
Yep.
aren't ready for it and what's going on at the moment, what things can be congruent with each other.
I'm full of stories. Polaroid camera, the first Polaroid camera that ever came out. They came out for Christmas time. I don't remember exactly what year, but they came out for Christmas time. Said $50, and they hardly sold any. And they figured out it was because people thought $50 for a camera that gives you a picture instantly. Yeah, that must be a hoax. That must be garbage.
Mm,
So the next year, they had all these Polaroid cameras that they didn't sell the previous year. So they just re-advertised them for $100 and sold them like hotcakes.
yeah. Wow. Did not know.
And so it's that value. People weren't ready for an inexpensive Polaroid camera.
Right.
The concept was like, there's no way you could do it that cheap.
Right.
And I think
That's
maybe
true.
part of it was there was a little bit of it was out there because they did it the year before and it didn't do very well. But then there was some intrigue. So that timing thing again,
Yeah.
not something that you can map out ahead of time necessarily, but
Right. Yeah, I mean, you could try to.
you can try. It's better to at least attempt than it is to just throw something in the wind.
Right. That's
Oops,
true.
the wind was blowing the wrong way. Wish I'd. Yeah.
That's true. But I think why do you think, I'm curious, why do you think shorts are so successful now, in your opinion?
I think it's twofold. There's that. Well, everybody's attention span's getting shorter. You know, and I like how Jim Edwards put it. It's like I don't think people's attention spans are getting shorter. It's that there are more things demanding our attention.
Yeah. It's a healthy way to put it.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then the other aspect is marketing.
Yeah.
I think because YouTube is huge and they have influence, that they were
Right.
able to help their own concept by marketing it correctly.
Right. Right. Agreed 100%. And even the whole idea with, I mean, people have been talking about this for the last couple of years. The whole thing with the craze with TikTok, and it's like one brand will go to the top, then come back to the bottom and go to the top. It's a race, right? But the other platforms wanting to have what TikTok has and get that advantage, that market advantage, like TikTok has, Instagram, Facebook. I'm like, is this still Periscope? I don't know, but that's more. I know it's more longer, like live streaming, but it's interesting to see that though. So in my opinion, that's definitely a reason, definitely that competition. But that's what people are going towards. That's the end thing right now. People can get a quick fix, that dopamine fix, and in a short amount of time, it's so helpful. And then it's like, wow, oh, this is short. Oh, I could subconsciously, I could do this, yeah. And then more comes up, And then of course with the edutainment value, where it's funny, I have people in my circle of where they're looking at TikToks and they're watching. Actually, my wife and I were looking at some videos she showed me of bears talking now. It's like you not literally talking, but you have a bear or a dog or a cat and they're making some kind of gesture and you have a person in the background speaking.
Right.
And it's hilarious. But I can see why people gravitate towards that. And that's the entertainment factor. Yeah. But you have the edutainment factor too. But if you can get those quick nuggets in a short amount of time, that's a win.
Well, it's didn't used to be available.
Right.
So, that bear talking type of idea, people did that on TV shows and other things in the past, but it took a lot of production.
Right.
And marketing to get it out in front of people. Now with the internet and with basic video editing tools that you can download for free,
right,
you can do some pretty amazing stuff.
Right. And I love that you said that too. Like it is attainable. People can do that. Like if you're a business owner, coach, author, speaker, you can do that. Use those tools and put up short videos and get a lot of leverage online organically. And then test it like we've talked about, and we in our circles, we learn that you can, and we apply it too. You can do it, and then you could also run ads to it. Like I haven't done it yet with my shorts, but that's the next phase for me, to run the ones that did really well and then run ads to them next. I even heard Gary Vee mention that too, So.
Well, and then there's the whole concept of, well, we don't even have to make a short. It's not like, oh, you have to come up with a script and an idea that's within this thing so you can make this short video. Now with this AI, the AI tools, like we've been using the Opus Clip, and there's CapCut, and there's a ton of other ones too, and new ones coming out all the time. But they will make the shorts for you. They will take a longer video and I don't want to say chop it up, but it takes little sections and says, hey, here's a section that's a short, here's a section that's a short, and then you get to pick and choose, and you have control. I say the AI picks it out, but you still get to adjust that. Now, of course, the free programs don't give you as much control over that stuff, and that's the whole point. Is that, hey, if you want to use it professionally and a lot, then you want to pay for that tool. But there's the way to find out, do I like doing this? Does this work for me? Is this a good avenue to explore? Check out the free stuff.
Right.
That's how we made a couple of our shorts that we put on our Facebook is through those AI tools.
Right. And that's interesting you mentioned that too, because a lot of people think I got to make this short and then make the next one and then make the next one. Which you can do. There's a time and place for that, for sure.
Absolutely.
You're right. And then, but at the same time too, you also can do a long form video. And one of my favorite ones actually is, some of the clients we work with, if we can I've done it with podcasts, but I've seen people do it with speeches where they'll take a long speech and just get them cut up And those are the ones that you look on and you see someone speaking like an Eric Thomas or someone, and it's so inspiring. But that comes from a longer speech, and people just cut it up. The editor just cuts it up.
Yep.
Nowadays, like you mentioned, though, you can use the AI and it will cut it up. And when you mentioned the AI too, yeah, you can make those adjustments. You could change the headline, you could change the title, you could change the content in there, you could change the hashtags. But it's cool because like even one like Opus gives you the rate, the score of that particular video, of a particular video. And that gives you an idea of, okay, this one seems like it would do really well. So it's cool because it gives you somewhat of a guideline.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yep, you're not flying in the dark.
You're not flying in the dark. Right.
Especially if you're just first starting out, not, it's like, hey, what's this short thing? Like I was. It's like I was plugged it into the Opus, and it's like, hey, I plugged in a 30-minute video, and now I've got like 10 choices of these 60 to 90-second chunks that it's plopped out there. And then, like you said, it says, well, this chunk I think is an 85 out of 100. This chunk is a 99, and this kind of gives you an idea. It's like, hey, which one should I focus on?
Right. Yeah. And so it what you think about it, Monty, it makes it so easy for people. Although, it's not easy for everyone. If you need to get someone to help you, to get it done. Because at the end of the day, we have to get results for our businesses.
Yep. But it like I said, it's attainable. Even if you need a little help, it's at least there. It's not like you need to drop $5,000 for some special equipment to make it happen, like you would have 15, 20 years ago.
Right. Things are changing. Things have changed.
Yes, sirree. And as we go a little off topic a little bit here, as we go forward, we see a lot of these free options with a paid better version. And that's really where society's been going towards, and where the internet's really going towards, because there's a few programs that are still out there, a few businesses that are out there that I see that, they don't have the free version. It's just you pay for everything.
Right.
And I'm not for sure on this. I haven't done any market research, but it seems like those are fading, and they're struggling. They're having to do more marketing. They're having to raise their prices. They're having to do different things to keep their numbers up.
Right.
And then I see a lot of these other companies that they have this free level, but it's worthless. It's like, basically they got your email from you.
Right.
And it's like, well, if you want this stuff, then you got to pay. And it's like, I understand that concept, but if you give some value for free, then people are more inclined to pay for more value.
Yeah.
But if you don't even give them a taste of what you got, well, then they're not inclined to jump all the way in. So as I build my business in this near future, that's what I'm looking at is, hey, how can I give value to people so that way they're going to be eager to buy my services? Right.
You're really good at that, Monty. I love how you engage with people. I've learned that from you.
Well, I'm glad to pass that along. It's just kind of my mode of operation. It's not anything that I premeditated and said, oh, I need to be this way. It's just, hey,
what you do.
If I'm gonna provide a service to somebody, I want them to find it valuable. I don't want it just to be I made some money.
Right. That's true. Doesn't last. So those are good, the shorts, and those are definitely the ways to go if you want to get some good engagement. It's important. I'll say this too, though, Monty. It's good to have an intro at the beginning where you're hooking people in, or you're engaging with people. You get their attention. Now, the next thing you talk about too is stopping the scroll, right? You get them to stop the scroll, and then you give them something that's going to give them value, something that's going to transform their situation, or give them some kind of quick win. And then you give them a call to action. Call to action to go and do something, take a step forward, or think about something. Those are important to put into your shorts. I'll say that for sure. Those are important to put in a lot of our content, but to put into shorts for sure, because they're so short.
It's because they're so short. I was going to say that's pretty much the framework of the communication that you're trying to do. And
Yeah.
so then you're just trying to take that format and
Right.
fit it into the short or fit it into whatever it is that you're doing. But there's that concept,
Right.
still that
Right.
flow. It's like, hey, I need to grab their attention. I need to pre-frame them so they're ready for this information. I need to give them that value, and then I need
Right.
to call to action. I need to get them to do something.
Right. 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 So true. And it's effective. It still works. But I say that though. I am rejoicing at the fact that shorts still work. I'm so excited about that. That is my jam. So I think it's been established. That's my favorite.
That I think so. I think you. I'm not. Is it shorts? Shorts are your favorite? You sure? Okay.
You know, shorts are my favorite.
So
Explain it to me,
yeah, I think,
right?
and so that format again, coming back down to it. So we have all these different types of things that were different names that we're going to be talking about,
Right.
but I think they all have that format
Yeah.
for the most part. You know, you have some entertainment stuff that doesn't follow that format, but that's because they're not trying to get anybody to do anything specific. They're just
Right.
entertainment.
Right.
But in our business, even a business of entertainment, you know, when you're trying to reach people, you're trying to get them to do something, whether it's I want you to sign up for my services, or I want you to buy my product, or I want you to get on my email list, or whatever that thing is. You're not just pushing stuff out into the universe and not expecting anything back.
Right. Yeah.
So we look at some of these other structures, you know, the scroll stop. You said you need to stop the scroll. Well, sometimes people call them, well, I have a scroll stopper video. I don't know. Is that really a thing? I think that scroll stopping is a tactic that people want to use, but you know, in the video creation world, people who create videos as a living, a scroll stopper is a specific type of video. It's the kind, it's got stuff going on, it's moving, and it's outlandish right at the very beginning. That's the point. But a scroll
Right.
stopper, you know, stopping someone's scroll doesn't necessarily have to be something moving, looking outlandish.
Right.
It could be a still image. It could
Right.
be a headline. It depends on the
Absolutely.
person. You know, so that's that ideal avatar. Get back to that. You need to know who you're making the video for, and who you're targeting, and what you want
Right.
them to do, so that you can follow the framework.
Right. No, that's true. Agreed 100%. You know, it's interesting. You know, the way our minds can work sometimes is we're thinking about a specific thing. It's all visual. It's all the person, the human doing something outlandish. But I love that, you know, and I love that we're talking about that. You know why, Monty? Because we're talking about presence. That's what we're talking about. Not gifts, but your presence and how you come across. You know, you could have a strong presence in just the way you look. And if you're given a message, you could tell a story without being outlandish, or like you mentioned, the hook, etc. So it is good to pay attention to that, because different people, it's going to affect people different ways. And like you mentioned, avatar is important. And also, I'll add to that too, it's important to test out to see which one will work for your audience.
Yeah. Yeah, because again, it's that different people absorb information differently, or
Right.
different areas of the journey, and so they're open and receptive differently. So yeah, you need to test that out and find out, you know, what appeals to my audience, to the majority of my audience. You can't say to everybody, but to the
Right.
majority of my audience, what works better.
Right. So true. So true. That's good stuff, man. It's important. These are things you got to think about if you're putting content out there, as you're putting content out there. And if you
Wild.
haven't already, put some content out there. Get going. Why not? There's an audience out there waiting for you.
Yeah, that's another good topic of, you know, there are so many people that everybody's unique, But then again, you're not. There's
Right.
someone else out there that thinks close to you, similar to you. Yes, you are unique. There's no one else exactly like you, but there are lots of people similar to you. So if you have a thought process and you like things this way, then you're pretty sure there's going to be a substantial amount of people out there in the world somewhere that feel similar, that you can resonate with and relate to.
Right.
You know, before
Right.
it was, oh my gosh, I need to put my message out to as many people as possible so I can find those individuals because they're scattered.
Right.
Now with the internet, it's a lot easier to send that message out there and only talk to those people and
That's right.
not waste your time or those other people's time trying to communicate with them on a level that they're not ready for or something they're not interested in. Just bypass them. Oof. You're taking the whole funnel idea, because the funnel idea was throw in as many people as possible so that you can get the people that you want.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but now we're refining this. My funnel is a lot narrower. I don't need to put as
Right.
many people in at the top because I'm picking from a better pool.
Right.
And
That's
here we
true.
are. Video structure. I don't know what that has to do with video structure. It has to do with knowing your audience and choosing the right video to appeal and resonate with your audience. That's how it ties together.
That part right there. That part.
Now, you have froze up, Mr. Carl.
I froze?
You've been kind of choppy a little bit, but now you
Really?
have completely frozen and you are.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Oh, good. There we go.
And now I can see
Reset.
you moving again. Do the
Reset.
reset. Unplug it and plug it back in again.
Oh, well, technology, all this tech stuff, right? What am I going to do with it?
You're just going to have to live with it. Or
Right.
move out into the forest and live off
Well,
grid.
Well,
That is a choice.
that's
There are
true.
some people that do that. Although I challenge them living completely off the grid, because if they did, we wouldn't know about them.
Yeah. Good point. Good point. You gotta stay. You gotta stay. You gotta stay in the city, or stay close to the city at least, or just not be on the off grid so much.
Not so much.
Not so much.
I'm
A
a
little
nice.
bit though.
I'm the nice halfway. You know, you're in the city. I'm in a little town.
Just a city boy,
There you go.
born and raised in. Yeah. Anyway, that's a singing lesson right there.
Well, let's move on. We talked about shorts and scroll stoppers. What about explainer videos? How would you say an explainer video is different than other videos?
In my opinion, this is from my lens. Explainer videos are more explaining about I could explain about a specific product or the way to use a specific like we talked about Opus. I could do a explainer video about Opus and how the different ways you can use it, and I kind of elaborate more about in specifics about this particular product or service or thing. It doesn't have to be a product or service. It could be a specific topic. It could be a mindset, so be more of an explainer video. That's the way I think about it.
I kind of elaborate that with it's a something to video. It's a how to, why to, what to, depending on what level you're of value you're giving to at that point. So a what to explainer video is the free stuff you're giving out to entice people to contact you to see who resonates. That's the testing part. What to, or a why to is another one.
Right.
And then you save that how to for the course, the masterclass, the paid for type stuff.
Right.
But that's not necessarily, the way it has to be done. You could definitely do a how to explainer video to get people to sign up for something. Because are some things where it's like, yeah, let me show you. This is how you do this. This is step 1, this is step 2, this is step 3. It's hard, it's ugly, and it's no fun. So if you'd like to avoid those and have me do it for you, sign up here.
Right.
So giving the how to is not necessarily bad.
Right. You mean, I love how you separated that too. That's what, we talk about that, just the what to and why to, and then the how to. There is, when I think about it, I think there is nuance sometimes too, even with the how to's, because your how to goes a certain level and you're giving that information and you're giving that people an idea. You're helping them to get started. And if they want to go deeper and learn more, they can check out the product or join your community or what have you. You can give them that call to action.
Yeah, there's a fine line between what to and how to.
Yeah.
And there's that nuance, because you can kind of tell people how to do something, but you're really only telling them what to do, but not really how to do it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a how to, because without knowing what to do, you don't know how. So it's
Steps.
like that. Yeah.
How to overview. How to
Right.
umbrella. What a
The 30,000-foot.
30,000-foot how to. Ooh, coining that bad boy.
Yeah, so that explainer videos are oftentimes misinterpreted as, oh, well, that's your infomercial, because it's going to explain all kinds of stuff, or that's your how to do something. But
Yeah,
you can explain all kinds of stuff.
right. And even with the how to stuff, you gotta, a lot of things you do, you gotta know as many steps as possible or all the steps, and even if you give a little bit of the how to, you kind of get people starting on that journey. That's another variation. We talked about that nuance.
Yep.
Many
again,
ways to do it.
That has to deal with what you're selling and your target audience, and then how it's delivered, and all those types of things. There's a lot of nuances in there, and
Right.
options. There's lots of options involved there. There's not one set way to do something.
Right.
A lot of people get hung up on that. They're like, well, I researched and found out that this guy does it this way, and that's how he made money, so that must be the way you do it.
Right.
That's the way he did it, and it worked.
Yeah.
And that's good information.
Right.
Not necessarily, the Bible.
Yeah. That's true. It's true. That is true. Facts. Those are facts.
We've talked about shorts. And we didn't actually say this. What is a short? When is a short, and what makes it become not a short any longer?
Well, technically, depending on the platform, I mean, I want to say depending on in some ways, depending on the platform, shorts are videos that are short, small, bite-sized, small videos where you can get some value from it. You don't have to get value. It could be something that's just entertaining, but it has to be under a certain time limit for a lot of the platforms.
So I'm the tech guy, so I want to know that. Is it 60 seconds? Is it 59 seconds?
Well, today, as we're speaking, that's you got to add that to it too, because for some platforms it changes. So I know for Facebook it used to be 30 seconds, but I think it expanded a little bit. It seems like it expanded. I don't know. For YouTube, it was 60 seconds. For TikTok, before it was 60 seconds. Now it's longer. You can do longer form video. So also it's important to pay attention to that, because 6 months from now it can change the time frame. So
Right.
that's pretty much the idea of it.
Before the shorts, that's what was leading up into this, is you had the 3-minute video. And Facebook for a while there before shorts was saying, hey, your video is not 3 minutes. It's not going to get the exposure you want. They were actually literally, if I uploaded a video, it would tell me your video is not 3 minutes. It's not going to get played.
Mm-hmm.
And then 6 months later, they're like, your video is too long. You need it to be short. What?
I'm confused.
So again, though, it's trends. So Facebook is not interested in you succeeding for the sake of you succeeding. Facebook wants you to succeed if you are spending money on ads.
Right.
Otherwise, they don't give a tech.
Yeah. It's true.
So the information that they give out there to you is only what's trending and only what's going to promote them and give them the most bang for their buck.
Right.
So if they think that shorts are where they're going to get a lot of ad generation, then they're going to promote shorts, whether or not it's good for your target audience or not. And I've
Right.
been learning, and some of my stuff, I've been looking where even the short videos aren't getting the engagement that my images do. So
Yeah.
for my particular audience that I'm looking at with this, I'm trying to determine, is it because they don't like videos? Is it because they have their video settings shut off on their phone? Is it because they literally are so time constrained that they don't bother with videos? They only look at the pictures. I'm not sure yet, but I've been watching these trends, looking at these patterns just to kind of see, just because Facebook and Microsoft and Google say everybody's attention, you have 7 seconds. It's like, well, but that's across the board. That's not necessarily my target audience. My
Right.
target audience might be the 30-second ones that bring the 3-second up to the 7-second because they're part of the balance. I don't
Right.
know, but I just find that
And
interesting.
right. No, it's great you said that. And two, by the way, a lot of these platforms have different variations. So they're different versions of Facebook. It's this Facebook that has different variations though. So that being said, it's you got to test it out. It's not gonna the same. The very thing that one person said may not work for you. You have to test out and see what's going to work. Like even right now as we speak, I know even with Instagram, they say that the carousels are going to be really, really banging, really popular, and also stills. But when I take that information, when I hear that and I do research and I get that information, I'm still going to test out my reels because that might not be the case for me for the next 90 days or 6 months. So I have to keep testing. I have to do the work to put that work in. Just because I get the information, that doesn't mean that's gonna work for me.
Right. I think that the information that you're getting is great to know what to test,
Right.
not what to just adopt.
Right. Know the rules, test it out, sometimes break them.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to work for you.
Right. Yep. So 3-minute video. Yeah, that was such an interesting thing with the whole Facebook thing and the 3-minute video. I just still makes me stop and think. Even though it's
Yeah.
kind of it's already ancient history as far as it's Facebook and the internet's concerned, but
Right.
we've been kind of seeing things, in life they wrap back around. I think it's true here too.
Right.
Humans they get enamored with the new, but then they remember the old sometimes. I can remember when, so we come back around a lot of times.
We come back around. Exactly. Some things will go in cycles too, It's like that with so many different things, even styles of movies, you know, different themes. It's going to come back at some point. But the cool thing is what helps me out when producing content is to know if I'm testing it out and I just keep my pulse or my ears to the ground, keep playing around with it, keep testing it out. Because that's a key thing. And it may sound like a lot of work, but it's not. As you do it or you get someone to help you to do it, it doesn't have to be a ton of work. Keeping it simple. Keeping it simple, like we like to say.
It's simple. Yeah.
Keeping it simple.
Yeah. Test as you go. That's where a lot of people think that testing is this whole extra step. It's like, no, just it's part of the intent. It's part of the thinking ahead. It's like,
Right.
hey, I don't need to necessarily run a bunch of tests, but
Mhm.
when I do my post, I need to be aware and see the results and track the results. So that
Right.
way I can post this and I'm posting. I'm not testing, I'm posting. Oh, I'm testing.
Hmm.
Yeah. You're doing both.
Right.
So that way you're not feeling like you're putting in a bunch of effort and not making any headway.
Right. Right. So yeah, you got to test as you go. It's not like you're getting a whole bunch of data, then waiting a minute and then pondering it. And then by that time, again, what we're talking about specifically and more, a lot of it is focused on organic marketing. For those who don't know, the marketing you do without the paid ads. So it's a continual movement that you have to take. So it's important.
And like I said, with technology, things are always changing. So even when you do find something that works for you, chances are that you will need to adapt that, and it will only work for so long at the level that you found, and then it'll diminish off. I think that's with anything, because people get tolerant to stuff.
Right.
A new type of commercial, a new type of ad, a new type of scroll stopper, a new type of attention getting thing comes out, and it's like, and it's awesome. And then it gets spread out and everybody starts using it. And now it's no longer the cool new thing. It's the average. Everybody's using it. And suddenly, so this is what I'm looking at with going back to old patterns.
Right.
It's like, well, when we've evolved and now this is the new pattern, if people have stopped using that old one, it could become the scroll stopper again.
Right.
It could be the attention getter. It's like, well, nobody uses that.
Right.
I just got your attention, didn't I?
Yeah, that's true. And I say, when I mentioned Instagram too, the carousels are a great example of that, because at some point the carousels weren't hot. They were hot at first, then they weren't hot. And now they're becoming hot again.
And sometimes I wonder, how much of that is market and how much of that was Instagram, because of what Instagram was doing.
Right.
They did the carousel thing. They pushed it out there. It became norm.
Right.
Now they didn't do anything with it for a long time. People went on to other stuff, stopped using the carousel thing, and technology changed and it's easier to use it. That's another key factor. And so now they've repushed it out there, and now it's a big thing again.
Right. And Monty, personally, I love that, because it makes my work easier. Because it's not a new thing. It's an old thing that they're bringing back. So I already tracked that before. So, okay, let's get back on it.
Yeah, that is a good aspect of that. It's like, hey, I've been here, done that.
Cool with me.
That ain't my first rodeo. Yeah. It's the new technology, when something brand spanking new, when the AI comes out, and then it's like, I don't have any background. I just got to get in there and test.
Right.
But again, testing doesn't have to be like car manufacturers testing their cars. So that's what's great, is we can actually put the stuff out there. It ain't going to kill nobody.
Right. Put it out there. And the reality is, not a lot of people will see it. Some people, it might happen, but for the most part, most likely, a lot, like 1 million people won't see it. I'm exaggerating with my numbers, but that's a good sense to test it out. Put it out there. Get the experience. Exercise it. Exercise is an option. Exercise the option.
So let's tie that back together then. So test it out. Test out a short. Test out a 3-minute video. Test out a scroll stopping type of a thing. See what works for you. Some people they do really well by having a weird image, and they're doing something all wacky, and then it starts and they come up, and that works for them. Other people, they just want to be there in their professional setting, and that's because their clients are like, oh, it's him, and that's the scroll stopper. It's like, oh, he's going to say something. He's in this room. It's John Maxwell. It's the word of the day. Oh,
Right. That's a good point. There's so many different types. Some people may even market, hey, there's this type, that type. Not really, no. It depends on your setting, like you mentioned, your audience.
And like you just said, not a lot of people are going to see it. So, it's okay. Just put it out there. And you need feedback. So what better feedback than people are actually looking at it? Because you can go to your family, you can go to your friends, you can go to your business partners and get feedback. But it's not as good as true feedback. Because especially your family and your friends, They don't want to hurt your feelings. They don't want you feeling bad. They don't want any negative connotation for the most part. Some friends are blunt and good, but for the most part, they're gonna be like, "Oh no, that's pretty good." You know, even if in the run they're thinking, "Wow, that kind of stunk," actually.
Yeah, that's true. It's very true.
By
But that's
testing, by putting it out there.
right. And then you have to get that traction with it because it takes time. It's organic marketing. The paid, if you're spending thousands of dollars on ads, you will get some results. But this is organic marketing. So it's not just you post one thing, you got to post more things. You have to post multiple times. That's a whole other subject.
Yep.
But that's important as well, because sometimes you think, oh, let me put this out real quick. Woohoo! No, that's part of it. You're putting out breadcrumbs, put out multiple pieces of content, multiple videos.
I'm going to put this out there. Paid advertising is like term life insurance. When you stop paying, you stop getting benefits. Organic traffic it takes longer, but it goes longer. That's more like your life insurance, where you've paid in and now you get to continue reaping the benefits further down the line.
Right.
So it's not as big of a payoff right off the bat, but it is in the long run.
Right. And if you know how to use it right, if you know how to leverage that organic marketing correctly, it can serve you really, really well. There's and that's why I love the short form video, because I know that 6 months down the road, I can leverage what I used 6 months prior, 6 months down the road, or 9 months or 12 months down the road. Next January 2025, I can still leverage that same video. I technically could do that with an ad as well, but I have to turn it back on after I've turned it off. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying one or the other's bad. No, but I'm saying that's a benefit.
No, those are the differences of what's going on. So
right.
in actuality, the best business strategy is to combine. You know, you get your ads for your immediate results for stuff now that can help bolster the organic, and the organic keeps going, which will help bolster your next ad set. So they actually can really work well together. But if you're in the boat like me, where ad spend is not part of my budget, and I don't have a definitive thing for running an ad for, I'm kind of an ambiguous. It's like, hey, contact me and we'll figure out what you need and make a package. When I get to the point where I have a pre-designed package, then advertising would be really advantageous for that.
I'm just saying you do have one. It's really cool, but I'll leave it at that.
This is true. So as far as the rest of the video forms of stuff, I guess people oftentimes don't think about videos when you are in a webinar or a course. You know, because those you're not thinking about it as a video. You're thinking about it because it's so much bigger. It's like I'm taking a course. Right. I'm not watching videos. I'm taking a course.
Right.
But when you're making your course, you're making a video, and in that circumstance, you are looking at it in a whole different light. It's, hey, this is what's called evergreen. This is I want to be able to have people come to this over and over and over and over again for an extended period of time. So you have to kind of put that together a little bit differently than you would a short, because the short's just short. I'm going to see it. I'm going to run it for a while, and then if it's gone, it's gone. I'll make another short.
Right. That's true.
So you got the tools involved. A person who just makes shorts versus a person who makes courses are going to use different video editing tools.
Right.
You know, if you're Stephen Lai, you're going to make a short and you're not going to edit at all.
Yeah. If you're like me, you're probably going to edit because I just love it. It's just fun.
Well, there's pros and cons. There's nuances. There's
Options.
options. There's just different stuffs. Yeah. So
Right.
I don't think there's a right and wrong there.
Oh no, I think it's good that of course, with the whole camera confidence thing and putting videos out. It's good to test it out and have fun, because when it comes to like webinars and even courses, you could also have that conversation of what is your audience's learning style. You can definitely apply that to shorts as well, but to keep people's attention as if you want them to get the best results out of your course, what are their learning styles? And then you could think about how you will communicate. You're not just I'm going to get on and teach a course and I'm going to talk like this the whole time and I'm going to get through it. And no, if you can do that if you want, but you want to keep it in. What do you say?
And people do.
And people do. And people do. But I think about my course. I'm cool if people fast forward through my course, but I do want to give my very best in engaging with my audience through that camera, and let them feel like they purchased something and I'm talking to them specifically. See what I just did right there?
Yeah. Specifically.
Then you can get those mechanics in there as well. So that's a whole level, another level too. You got to, in my opinion, you got to think about that stuff if you want to have the most bang, for your energy and for your efforts.
Well, I think that, the bottom line, you want a review. You want someone to review the whole thing and say, this was great.
Right.
And so you have to set it up so that that person will feel that way. So if you just present your information, like you were saying in this tone of voice that I'm just doing, here's point A and here's point B and here's point C, and that's the way it is.
Right.
That's not going to resonate. That's not going to stick. And so therefore that person doesn't have any motivation to give you that good review.
Right.
You can even ask for it and they're going to be like, yeah, it was okay. Even if they're being nice, 5 stars, it was good.
Right.
Yeah. You can tell. I look at reviews a lot, and you can tell the difference between a truly satisfied customer and someone who is happy.
Yeah.
5 stars, it was good. They're happy, maybe. But if you got 2 paragraphs describing the experience and this problem that was solved, or this realization that I came to, or something that's just true, then that there's your results. Oh yeah, I did that right. And the warm fuzzy feeling. Why did I do this in the first place? It's one thing to have 20 people buy your course and finish it. And there's another thing to have even just one of them email you and thank you profusely for providing them the answer to their problem.
Right. That's true. It's very true. And some people don't care about that. They just want to get something out there, get the results, and that's cool. But when I think about it, I think about quality. Just being in the entertainment world, being in it 35 years. When I came to this world, I'm like, I want to be like that. There's a lot I did not know. I learned some stuff from with business, because I marketed my own stuff and I partnered with people and I had consultants and stuff. But when I came into this space specifically, I said, look, I want to last in that way. I want to make my mark. So for me, this thing was a calling. So what you mentioned right there mattered to me. But someone who might just care about the numbers, some of it may not matter to them. So all good.
Well, let's wrap this up with the keep it simple part. The thought that came to my mind is a scroll stopping explainer video. A scroll stopping explainer video. That could just be a really good course.
Scroll stop. Ooh.
So the keep it simple part is a video is a video.
I'm writing that down, by the way.
Okay. that's a neat little thought. A scroll stopping explainer video is just a course, a really good course, I should say. So a video is a video. Just the point being is, who is it for? And how are they going to consume it? And will they get value from it? And that's the best format for you.
Right. And those are things to think about. And why not test it out? Test it out. For some people, I know that might sound intimidating, but that's the way to go. Test it out and see. What do you got to lose?
Right. See, that's the thing. A lot of people think, oh, if I put something out there that's bad, then nobody's going to ever read my stuff again. Like, well, let's go back to the first thing. Not a lot of people are going to see your stuff at first. And here's another example. My mom, I've been helping her with her Facebook. She has a business. The business has been around for decades. The Facebook has been around for years. She has 600 followers. And, maybe, she puts something out there and she gets 20 impressions, 50 impressions. And she says, but Monty, there's 600 people. It's like, yeah, Mom, but not everybody gets to see everything. You put out one post. Well, that person is following 100 businesses. So there are 100 posts that they are going to come up on their feed. And maybe they don't even scroll through all 100. They get tired and they stop. And so then your thing never did actually come through on their feed.
Right.
So it's that, just keep putting it out there. And it's okay if you put something out there that's not great and someone points it out. That's just information for you to make it better.
Are you saying that's market research for free?
That is free market. You didn't have to pay anybody for that.
My favorite.
Man.
My favorite. That's my favorite type of research.
Absolutely. And real, true, not some person you paid to get their opinion and then they're thinking about how they want to give you their opinion. You got a raw opinion.
Raw from a person.
Yep.
Best kind.
A
lot of people take it for granted. Don't let that be you.
No.
Am I freezing anymore, by the way?
Yep, you're freezing here and there.
Here and there. Okay.
Just living with it.
Oh well, coasting through.
No reason to point it out. When you froze and stopped moving completely, then I pointed that one out.
Okay, cool. Well, good stuff, Monty.
Here's our video. We made it live. But then it'll be a replay, so it's a video.
Boom.
And it wasn't short.
It wasn't short. Look out for shorts from us, though.
Yes, we can plug this in and get some shorts from it. There were some good little snippets in there.
Yes, indeed. Anything else, Monty?
Oh, there was tons of stuff, but I think that wraps it up for today.
Sounds good. Well, thanks for tuning in, everyone, and have a fantastic week.
But before we go, you've been watching. We've been talking about videos.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like uncomfortable saying video, I don't want to make video. I don't want to be on video. I don't want people watching me. I feel like a dork. You can get help. You can become more confident on camera and have a personal presence that is unforgettable. Carl, how would someone go about doing that?
I love it. If you want to be that person and you want to walk into that room or walk in front of that camera and have that confidence and have a strong presence, check out carlaleen.com, where you'll find everything Carl. Everything? Everything, pretty much. Well, some aspects of me not, but for a good part.
If you don't know where to start, you don't know what to do, start out with the book. Get Carl's book.
Right. Confident on camera. Let's go. And Monty, someone's having a hard time. Just they want to understand all this tech stuff and they want to get a strong presence in their website. Where can they go? They're literally pulling their hairs out of their heads. Right?
We don't want that.
We don't want that. Like, especially people like me. I'm done. I'm past.
That you've done all the stressing you can do. You can't stress anymore. Well, you'd have to go to your beard, and we definitely don't.
I don't want to go there.
So let's have them go to montyarmstrong.com.
Yes, montyarmstrong.com. Let's go.
Now, there's all kinds of stuff on there about me, but you just scroll down to the bottom. There's a contact form. You can ask me whatever question you want.
Well, you're answering questions. That's good. That's brilliant.
That's step one. Step one.
Step one. So there you have it, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.
See you next week.